What is up, everyone? Welcome back to GrayDays TV, and today I'm going to be talking about Hassani Campbell, a 5-year-old boy who went missing in 2009. Hassani Campbell was born on September 24, 2003. And at 5 years old, Hassani was already dealing with heavy life challenges. He suffered from cerebral palsy and used braces to help him walk. His biological mother also had substance abuse problems, which caused him and his sister to be put in foster care before they were eventually put in the custody of his mother's sister, Jennifer Campbell, and her fiance, Lewis Ross, in December of the year 2008. And looking from the outside in, things did seem to be going well for Hassani once he was put in the custody of his aunt. His foster parents were even reportedly taking legal steps to adopt Hassani, and the State Division of Children and Family Services had no problems with the foster parents at all. And they even noted that they stayed on top of all Hassani's medical needs. But on August 10th of 2009, Hassani was reportedly last seen in the Rock Ridge district of Oakland, California at 4:15 p.m. His foster father, Lewis Ross, said he left the child outside of his vehicle, a 2002 BMW, in the back parking lot of a shoe store on the 6000 block of College Avenue. And at the time, Ross was dropping off Hassani and his 1-year-old sister, Aaliyah, to be with his fiance who managed the store. So Ross allegedly took Aaliyah and left Hassani to unlock the front door, and when he returned, Hassani was gone.
Searching for a missing boy near Oakland, California. 5-year-old Hassani Campbell disappeared last Monday. The little guy has cerebral palsy, wears tiny braces on his legs to get around. Now, police say he couldn't have gone far on his own. Hassani's foster father says he left the boy next to his car outside a busy shopping center where his fiance works, who's Hassani's aunt, and says when he returned, minutes later, little Hassani was gone. Just like that, vanished. The FBI has now joined in on the investigation. We'll take a...
So police were immediately suspicious of Ross when he reported Hassani missing, so they impounded his BMW. They also put Aaliyah into protective custody and served search warrants to search the home of his foster parents in Fremont, California. Ross eventually took a polygraph test, which he failed, and Jennifer was also asked to take one, but she refused, stating that because she was pregnant, she was scared that the stress of the polygraph test would affect the fetus. Now, something else that people think was kind of weird is the fact that the two never really tried to keep Hassani's name and face in the public eye. In fact, the people who organized these searches, held vigils, and raised money to help find Hassani were all volunteers. Now, later on in the investigation, police do believe that there was some form of domestic violence going on in the house. And they also found out that Ross had a few misgivings on raising a disabled child. According to court documents, Ross also left the children at the house one day alone while he went to the bank. And on July 31st, 10 days before Hassani went missing, Ross sent an angry text message to Jennifer, threatening to abandon the child on a Bay Area rapid transit platform. But he later stated he had simply just been angry at Jennifer and had no intentions of actually following through with what he said, saying, "It was me venting about a situation in our past that had come back up. I was ending the relationship at that point." But like I said, even from the beginning, police expressed skepticism on Ross's accounts of Hassani's disappearance. Hassani supposedly vanished in the middle of a busy business district crowded with people, yet no one saw anything unusual. And tracker dogs were not able to find a scent in the area that Ross said Hassani vanished. Now, I don't live in Oakland and I've never been to Oakland, but from everything I've read, College Avenue is a very, very busy street. Especially around the time of 4:15, there's like no way that he could have just vanished without anyone seeing anything. But like I said, I've never lived in Oakland, I've never been there, so if any of you guys are from Oakland, let me know in the comments if it is possible for someone to be taken in that area and no one see anything. Family's neighbors also stated that they hadn't seen Hassani since about 2 weeks before his disappearance was reported. And in the investigation, police determined that the last time Hassani was seen by anyone besides his foster parents was on August 6th at a Walmart in Fremont. So with that being said, on August 28th, 18 days after Hassani first disappeared, his foster parents were taken into custody and arrested on suspicion of murder.
The foster parents of this missing 5-year-old boy have been arrested on suspicion of his murder. Hassani Campbell, who has cerebral palsy, was reported missing nearly 3 weeks ago after his foster parents said he was taken from a parked car outside an Oakland, California shoe store. In the days after the disappearance, foster parents Jennifer Campbell and Lewis Ross appeared before television cameras, pleading for his safe return.
I would gladly trade my life now for his. If something's wrong with him, I don't care. I would give it myself for him. I just want him home.
Don't let him become a picture on a milk carton box 5 years later that you never found.
Investigators have arrested and are now questioning the couple. Police are classifying the case as a homicide probe. The couple's home has been searched. Police are not saying what led them to believe the boy is dead.
Now, authorities intended to charge Ross with murder and charge Jennifer with an accessory. However, Jennifer was released on August 31st, and Ross was later released on September 1st due to the lack of evidence. And even though both of them still maintain their innocence, they are still seen as the prime suspects in the disappearance of Hassani. So after Jennifer gave birth to a daughter, her and Ross ended their relationship, and they actually ended up moving out of the Fremont area. And authorities are no longer searching for Hassani, stating they don't know where to look. And although Ross and Jennifer still maintain that Hassani was kidnapped in Oakland, police still believe that he was murdered by his foster parents, and the case remains open. So at this point in 2019, Hassani would be 16 years old. An updated age progression picture of him has been made public last year to help people identify him. And I have also included information on who to contact if you have any information on Hassani's whereabouts. But in my opinion, this seems like a case where police had everything but evidence. To me, from the beginning, the foster father's story just seems really sketchy. You take one child to the store, but you leave the other one by the car for no reason at all, really. Then the kid that you left by the car is taken in broad daylight on this super busy street, and no one sees anything. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that things like this happen all the time. Kids are taken in broad daylight on busy streets and no one sees anything. That does happen. But in this case, when you pair that with the fact that a couple days before this happened, he texted his fiance angry, telling her that he was over taking care of Hassani and that he would just leave him at a random BART station, he seems pretty guilty. And my two theories are that either Hassani was murdered by his foster parents, or he died in some freak accident that they felt they had to cover up for some reason, so they took his body and hid it somewhere. But if that were the case, you would think the police would be able to turn one of the two against each other, especially since they aren't together anymore at this point. I don't know, it's really strange, but I guess you can't really count out the fact that he could have been kidnapped. Like I said, that is a possible thing that could have happened. He could have been kidnapped. But I would like to believe, from everything I read, that the police did as good of a job as they could have in searching for Hassani and treating him as if he was kidnapped, but the evidence just ended up pointing towards it's unlikely that that happened. So if that is the case, then I do believe that the police are probably right in their instinction that Ross and Jennifer probably had something to do with Hassani's disappearance. And it's really saddening to think that somebody knows where Hassani is or what happened to Hassani, and they aren't telling everyone else. And hopefully Hassani's family does get closure one way or another. But this is an extremely interesting case. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you believe that Hassani was kidnapped, or do you think that Jennifer and Ross probably had something to do with what happened to him? I already told you my opinion on that. I do believe that they probably had something to do with it. But with things like this, until there's hard evidence, you can never really know for sure. But let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, hope you guys continue to have a great day, great week, great month, great year. And I will catch you next video.